The Lectric XP Lite was the first electric model that I tested nearly 2 years ago. And since then, I have tried out most electric e-bike models. That BMX style nostalgia that takes me back to my youth in the 80s comes through riding that simple XP Lite, and I still ride it to this day. But for the past couple of weeks, I've been riding and having more fun with its successor. Hello everybody, this is Matthew Miller, otherwise known as Palm Solo, coming to you on my YouTube channel again. Please subscribe, share with family and friends, and interact with me on YouTube. I'm there to answer the comments, give you feedback, take feedback, and help improve my reviews. As I just mentioned, the XP Lite was one of my favorite bikes, especially in that blue, electric blue color that it came with before. And now for the past couple weeks, I've been riding this other new bike. This is the XP Lite 2.0. It is the highly anticipated successor to the fabulous XP Lite. It's also now available in two primary variations: the standard XP Lite 2.0 and the XP Lite 2.0. I don't yet understand or know what the JW stands for, but that's the model that I've tested. The JW model has this Gates carbon fiber belt drive system, and the standard XP Lite 2.0 is the chain-driven system. There's a $100 price difference between these two models, and this model comes in just the black color, whereas the other standard model comes in 4 different colors, including a pretty cool new purple that may be attractive to my youngest daughter. So as I've been doing with some of these latest models, let's run through a bit of the hardware and the specifications. Now, I mentioned there's 2 different main models, the one with the chain drive or the Gates carbon drive, but there's also an ability to upgrade the battery that's inside this tube for either a regular standard battery or the long-range battery. That additional cost is $200. Looking at the Lectric XP Lite versus the XP Lite 2.0, the major upgrades are that carbon belt option that I mentioned, but then we have a color display. We have improved tires, in my opinion. These have more of a slick tread on them with reflective tape on there as well, and hydraulic disc brakes are a big deal for this. This has the typical 6000 series aluminum alloy construction on the frame. It weighs in at just 49 pounds, so it's a pretty light bike, and it has a capacity of 275 pounds. I weigh in at about 232, so I've got about 40 pounds or so of weight that I can carry with me. The rider height is designed for 4 feet 8 to 6 feet 2. I'm 6'1", and as you can see with the height, this is just at the highest height on the seat post. It does fit me just about right. Now, this is good for me as a 6'1" person to get around and have a lot of fun. It's not a long distance type of bike anyway, so it doesn't matter about the extension of my legs. It's perfect for my height, but if you're taller than 6'2", you might want to think about another bike. It has a 300 watt rear hub motor, 819 watt peak, with 28 Newton meters of torque, which I'll talk about a little bit later in my hill test. So that Gates carbon drive belt system that I mentioned has 125 teeth on the belt, and this is actually the standard battery, which is 48 volts, 7.8 amps, and 375 watt hours. The upgraded long-range battery is also 48 volts, but it's 14 ampere hours and 672 watt hours, so you do get quite a bit more capacity for that extra $200 charge. This Lectric XP 2.0 is a Class 2 bike. It has throttle and pedal assist with up to 20 miles per hour of that assist, and an advertised range of up to 45 miles, up to 80 miles with the long-range battery. I'll talk about my range with my size, weight, and terrain that I rode it on. That's it for the speed and the power. Now, the throttle is a twist throttle on the right side, and of course there's no gears. The XP Lite has no gears, it just has the pedal assist or the throttle. One big upgrade is that 180 millimeter rotor hydraulic disc brake system, and also those tires. Those are 20-inch by 2.5-inch slick tires with that reflective strip, and also slime included to help with punctures and things like that. Has 5 levels of that pedal assist, and these ergonomic hand grips where your palm has a little bit of a palm rest so you can rest your hands there when you're riding it. It does have front and rear lights, which sometimes we don't see on some of the lower priced bikes. Unfortunately, the backlight is not a brake light. However, it does light up in red and is tied into the battery system with a cable, similar to the XP Lite original. It has a foldable stem. The frame, of course, folds in half, and it has metal pedals that fold for better storage and transportation. The new upgrade that I really like too is this vibrant color LCD display with a USB-A port on the bottom of it for charging up your phone. This display is IP65 rated, so you can ride it in different conditions and not worry about it. It also has 2 UL certifications, the 2849 for the entire electrical system and the 2271, which is for the battery system. So this is a certified safe bike to own, ride, and charge. Just use the charger that came with the Lectric XP Lite 2.0. The folded size is 36 inches long by 16 inches wide and 27 inches high. And as I mentioned and showed, it has this carrying handle that makes it very easy to get around. And as I mentioned on the controller, it is the typical Lectric controller, right? 3 buttons. There's the power button, there's a plus and a minus. You can go up and down on the pedal assist level and turn the thing on and off. And that display has big letters and numbers, so it's very easy to read in all conditions, including with sunglasses if you're out riding in the sun. As I mentioned earlier, I've had this bike for a couple of weeks. Pre-launch, it was actually Bike to Work month at work, so I took that opportunity to ride it in various different scenarios, including riding to work. Now, one thing is riding home from work, as I've mentioned in previous reviews, getting to my neighborhood is a 13 to 15% incline, and that challenges every bike that I ride, especially with my size. For around the neighborhood where we have rolling hills, it's perfectly fine. It's just those really steep hills can be a challenge. So my next test was that flat distance test with throttle only. On the throttle only, I rode it down on our local trail. It has a bit of an incline, very slow incline. It's paved trail. I rode it at generally most of the time at pedal assist level 3 on the throttle. I got about 20 to 25 miles on that trail with throttle only. So that's pretty good for a bike of this size and power and capacity. Now I did do some testing too. I put the levels at different levels to see what the throttle would. And this throttle is metered to those levels of pedal assist. So level 1, I was able to obtain about 9 miles per hour. With level 2, I got about 13 miles per hour. Level 3, I got about 16 to 17 miles per hour. And then level 4 and 5 both gave me a 20 mile per hour on the throttle test. So this is a very capable bike. When my family rides it, my youngest daughter, my wife like to ride this bike. They keep it at level 3 or lower. It's too much power for them beyond that, and they get a little bit freaked out. So on the flat distance test, I kept it mainly at pedal assist levels 1 and 2. As I mentioned, 3 got me up to 16, 17 miles per hour. And that's just a little too fast for my pedal assist because I was using my legs to also pedal. So I kept it about 1 or 2 most of the time, and the calculations and the miles that I rode, it got about 30 to 35 mile per hour range. And on this bike, they advertise 45 miles with pedal assist, so that's pretty accurate. I mean, I'm a 232-pound guy, and it wasn't super flat, it wasn't flat calm, there was a little bit of wind. So I'd say their accuracy on the mileage is probably about right. And then, of course, if you're out riding somewhere and the battery dies, can you get back with no battery and no assist? This bike, weighing in at just the 47 pounds, is actually a fairly easy bike to ride with only no battery at all. You just pedal the bike and have a good time. As I mentioned earlier, this bike reminds me of a BMX bike as I had as a kid with that styling. So getting up and riding it, it's actually kind of fun to ride without any assist at all or any battery. I've reviewed a lot of bikes over the past 5 to 7 years and have really fallen in love with e-bikes. And so one of my factors that I talk about on reviews is the fun factor. The original Lectric XP Lite was top of the list on fun factor, and this one continues that. This is just a joy to ride. When I commute long distances or ride up to my mom's house or someplace far, I really need a big, powerful bike. But if I'm just going out to have fun for an hour or so, I'll grab the Lectric XP Lite and the Lite 2.0. It's the funnest bike it is to ride with that size, that weight, that power. Now that there's no derailleur, with that Gates carbon belt, there's minimal maintenance. It's just a bike you can just have fun with and not even worry about. Not everything is perfect. There are a few little things. Lectric doesn't include a bell with this bike, which is unusual. You can buy one through Lectric, but it's $15. It's one of those simple safety things that really should be on every bike. Otherwise, you got to yell on your left, or let people know you're coming. I really would appreciate having a light with every bike. For taller riders than 6'2", it's too short of a bike. That post is going to meet that maximum. If you like to stand up and ride a bike, perfectly fine. There's also no suspension on this bike. I mean, this is an entry-level bike. It's priced reasonably well, and there's just no suspension for bumps and everything else. However, you can take it out on trails and have a blast with it. You stand up a lot of times and do your BMX. And then, as I mentioned earlier, it also has no brake light. It does have a red light that lights up with the headlight and the tail light, but that does not activate for braking. I mentioned some of the pricing earlier, and the XP Lite Standard Edition is available for $799. This model with the Gates belt is available for $899. And then if you want that higher rated battery, it's another $200 for that long range battery. So the range would be $799 to $1099 for all of the XP Lite 2.0 series. Still very reasonable, and this is a great bike that you could fold up and take with you. You can purchase lots of other accessories, such as the bell, mounts, panniers, a front rack, fenders. Right now, an Elite headlight and a bike lock are currently included with your purchase. So the Lectric XP Lite 2.0 is a wonderful bike for riding around your neighborhood, picking up that last mile or two of your commute, or taking out to a local park or perfect riding spot for a couple of hours of nostalgic riding. Since my commute includes about 7 miles total, it's great for my short train commute because it is easy to load on the train and store out of the way. It's lightweight, it's affordable, it maintains the purity of the Lectric XP Lite design, and I had a real joy riding it. There's very little to not like about this bike, and I highly recommend you find a store or pick one up for yourself and enjoy the heck out of the XP Lite 2.0. If you like this video, please share it with family and friends, hit that subscribe button, interact with me on YouTube, ask me questions, things you want to see in future reviews, how I can improve as I try this out. And thank you all for watching. May the mobile force be with you.